Dwight's Alice and created the Alice Gleaner Corporation in 1990. Just like 1929, when Oliver was created, the management of this new company, AGCO, is looking, we've got to put products together. So they immediately buy Heston for their hay tools. They buy White tractors from Allied, not New Idea though, which include New Idea now had the White planters and the hay equipment that would come in 93. But they quickly cobbled together a company. They need utility tractors, they need high horsepower tractors, so they purchased these things. And at that time, Charles City factories closed because it again was outdated and AGCO didn't want to invest in it. So they moved tractor production to Coldwater, Ohio, where the New Idea hay tools were made. And they were building the Dwight's Alice tractors, the White tractors. There was a lot of turbulence at this time. They quickly then moved the tractors to Independence, Missouri, where Gleaner combines are built, and build them there for 2 years, and then move them back to Coldwater again. So there was a lot of turmoil, but AGCO kept building. They bought out Massey Ferguson, not only because it was a worldwide brand, but because it had credit. They had a credit division, and that allowed farmers to finance White tractors, Gleaner combines, and a variety of other products that AGCO was selling. And I know a lot of people think that AGCO kind of ruined the brand. What is AGCO? But AGCO ensured that there was a part supply. If you had a New Idea hay rake, if you had an Oliver corn picker, some of the vintage equipment, they ensured that dealers were going to have parts to keep these brands going. And ultimately, by 2006, AGCO had acquired 22 different brands. In 2001, they decided to phase out the White tractor brand, the AGCO Alice, and created AGCO. But even though we lost White, we lost Oliver, those tractors built AGCO, which is the third largest tractor corporation in the world. In 1998, they bought out Fendt, which is a German company, so they have a US company buying a big European company. All the transmissions from Fendt, they invented CVT, went into the AGCO tractors, which were based on White. And now Fendt, which kind of has that Oliver look, it's got the dark green, has really taken off in the US and is making AGCO a major player today. John Deere, Case IH dealers are constantly talking about these big Fendt tractors. And so if it wasn't for Oliver and it wasn't for White, AGCO would not be in the position it is today. So it's simply, I guess, a story of just mergers. Oliver was a merger, White was a merger, AGCO's a merger. But it seems like about every 30 years in the company's history, they've merged, they've grown, and they've become better. So I hope that gives you just I just wanted to kind of, this is the kind of history I like to share on YouTube, and I hope it gives you maybe a little different perspective of what they were going through. And during all this time, there were people there. They were employed by the company. Ross Morgan would tell me that he would talk to the dealers after their meetings, which were very depressing. There was a farmer in Saskatchewan that wanted to buy a White Ford 270 four-wheel drive. He was also looking at a John Deere 8650, and the dealer asked Ford Warner, will we be able to have a warranty? He said, if you sell that tractor today, you have a warranty. Next week, no warranty. We won't provide it. But what Ross would remind them, remember that it's not the executives or the employees at White's fault. They have families. We're lucky they're still here. This company was struggling so hard. We're lucky that they stayed with it, and they're staying with us. So because of those people, the company persevered and built a lot of business in agriculture. So I hope that, again, gives you a good perspective, and I really just enjoy farming and equipment. I grew up in Churchill, New York. The reason I like tractors, I'm not a farmer. I joke I'm a yard farmer. The only Oliver I own is an Oliver 125 lawnmower that I use in my yard. But I grew up watching tractors. There were 7 dairy farms between our house and town, and that's how I learned my colors, was off of tractors, because there was a Ford farm, there was an Alice farm, Case, and my favorite was a big grain farm. It was the only one that wasn't dairy, and they ran Oliver tractors. And one time they had 26 Oliver tractors. They even had a White, or an Oliver, it was an Oliver 12-row planter, and they raised kidney beans, and they looked great with Bob Bean combines, which were built right here by Canandaigua. So it was just watching that I got really interested in it and have wanted to just share that information in its history as much as I can. So I certainly appreciate it, and I'd be happy to take any questions. And I wanted to ask, there are 3 tractors that I really want to put on my YouTube channel, because don't get to see as much Oliver as I'd like. I'd like to find an Oliver 2655, an Oliver 2150, and a 2050 to share on the channel. So if you know of any connections on that, please let me know after, because I'd love to get those out in the field and share their history in action. So, thank you. Yes? Sounds good. It sounds like a good show. Oh, any other questions? Or I would mention I also am the Toy Tractor Times magazine, and over the years I've tried to make as many Oliver tractors as possible in that series, and I had a lot of fun back in 2016, 2017. I made the Oliver 1955 and the Heritage Edition, a Coxa 1855, and the Moline G950. The Moline G950 was hard to sell. I'd go to the Oliver guys, like, I don't know, and I said, well, you know, if you had a Chevy Silverado and you collected, wouldn't you want the GMC Sierra too? But, and I also got to make the white 2105. So it was just a nice series, again, to share the history through farm toys, which is a little bit easier way to keep that history, takes up less space, and I can't imagine 200 tractors. So it's very impressive. So thank you very much. And,